Hey, how's it going? My name's Thomas. I'm rapidly closing in on 50,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I'm bringing in around $300,000 per year from this channel into my online programs and online courses. And I used to make YouTube videos once every 2 weeks because it would usually take me between 5 to 10 days to make a single video. But for the last 30 days, I did a crazy experiment to see if I could make a YouTube video every single day for 30 days. And what I learned completely overturned how I am making YouTube videos now. And I'm now at the point where I'm getting the same amount of views for videos that take me 3 hours to make as I was getting for videos that took me 5 to 10 days to make. And because of this massive increase in volume, my views overall have quadrupled, so have my leads, and the sales to my low ticket entry-level program have also quadrupled as a result of that, which is a nice side effect. So in this final video, in this 30-day challenge that I've been doing, I thought I would share my entire workflow with you. You can sit alongside me whilst I create today's video. I have no idea what it's going to be, but by doing so, you're going to learn how I ideate videos, how I make sure my videos bring in views, leads, and sales, how to guarantee that your idea is even good in the first place, how to plan out epic points and then speak naturally and authentically around those points so you don't need any script, and then how to edit that video quickly and easily so you're done in 3 hours with an awesome finished product. If that sounds good, the clock is ticking. We've got 3 hours, so let's get into it. So a lot of this 3-hour daily YouTube workflow has been happening in my brain and across multiple notepads, Notion documents, random templates. And so for this video, I've made an effort to consolidate all of my thinking into one single document in an effort to start systemizing this and allow those of you who are following along to actually get the most value out of this rather than me sort of messily explaining my ideas. So the first thing is ideation. Now what we have is a main objective for our video. And so making a daily video or making any video, it doesn't matter how many videos you're making, if it's 3 a week, 1 a week, a couple a month, each video that you have should have a specific objective. And so do you want this video to bring in a new audience, right? Do you want this video to grow your channel? Do you want this video to get you more emails into your business, get you more leads? Maybe you're doing a launch soon and you want to boost the amount of fresh people on your email list who are going to see that launch. Do you want sales, right? Do you already have an existing offer that you are promoting right now and you want to maximize the sales that you have within your existing audience? You don't really care if you get new people in. Or do you feel like maybe you want a bit more engagement and connection with your audience? Do you feel like maybe comments are a bit low? You're not quite seeing that interaction. And so you just want to make an effort to connect with people and build up more of a warm, trusting, connective relationship. And what I'm going to be choosing is going for views and a new audience. Right, so I've just got that down. That's the objective of this video. I want this video to kind of grow my channel. Obviously, if it does the other things, brings me in emails and sales and connects with people, awesome. But that's kind of my primary objective right now. Cool. Now there's 3 ways to ideate videos. Number 1 is ideating on a previously high-performing idea. So going through your channel, looking at what's already done well and repeating what works. It's the safest bet. And it's usually a great way to reach new audiences because you can just reference and reiterate on videos that have already reached new audiences and do those again. Second option is innovative. I think Caleb Ralston has this rule. I cannot remember the exact things, but he said something like 80% of the time you should do what works, and then 10% of the time you should tweak, and then the other 10% of the time you should just go absolutely crazy and come up with something completely new. I've been doing that quite a lot in this 30-day challenge, and surprise, surprise, it's been hit or miss. That's what innovation does. Sometimes it bangs, other times it's like it doesn't work at all. And the third way is looking at outliers in your niche or in adjacent niches and being like, cool, what's working on YouTube right now? Are there any trending titles that we can use in our niche, maybe from another niche? What I'm going to be doing here is going on a previous high performing. So I'm just going to type in a check here and saying like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going for this video. I'm going for a previous high performing thing. I'm not going to be coming up with anything remarkably innovative. I'm going to look through my channel and see what's been working and see if we can come up with a unique angle that works even better. Next up, what format of video is this, right? So these are the formats I've been using over the last 30 days. We've got a case study, which I can show you on my channel here. A couple of case studies. So one here with Cohen, another one here with Armin. These are people who've gone through my 30-day talking on camera challenge. And I just made a couple of videos where I was walking my audience through what they did in their 30-day challenge. And these videos, of course, did very well for sales, but I wasn't really expecting them to break out into new audiences. I'm not going to be making a case study today. Another one is a sort of one take / off the cuff video. Now, this is a pretty broad category, but I've sort of separate my videos out from videos like this that I'll often kind of shoot outdoors, and they're a one-take video that will explain something that's on my mind. These are often great to connect with existing audiences, although you'll see they do actually bring in new audiences as well. So if I go into my studio here and show you what some of those videos are doing, for example, this one here, I shot it in one take. I climbed up a tree to make it. And you can see it got 70 new subscribers, 6,000 views. If we see the actual audience that engaged with it, 14% new viewers. So it mostly went out to casual and regular viewers, but it did get some new people in. If we contrast this, however, with a video that I specifically made to go out to new viewers, that wasn't a one-take video, and I had more of a specific structured plan to it with slightly more detailed points, you can see that it got 320 subscribers, 18,000 views, and the audience that I brought in were 40% new viewers, right? And a pretty good mix there. So 55% casual, 40% new viewers. Now, I did hit a Goldilocks zone with another of my videos, which was kind of a meta video. It was a video about making videos in one take. This one's on 22,000 views. And if we look at the audience here, it got 30% new viewers, 66% casual viewers. And so even though I made that video in one take with zero editing, it broke out to new audiences, brought in 500 subscribers, and re-engaged a ton of my existing audience. The next video type is a system video. So we can find one of those in my channel here, where I'm teaching people how to, this video is on 12,000 views, still going. And throughout this video, I'm giving more of a system for on-camera confidence. It's not a casual, here are my thoughts on the subject. It's not a case study. It's, here is a process, a chain of steps that you can follow to achieve a certain result. And I try and make these system-based videos to be like 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 of my videos, just because I feel if I do too many case studies and too many chill off-the-cuff videos, the amount of value that I'm giving isn't as high as I would like it to be. So I do want to provide step-by-step systems that people can really follow and take stuff away from. And then a final format is a Q&A. I've been doing these recently and they've been great for engaging my audience. They always get pretty low views, but I don't really care. These are for my really regular viewers who are really interacting with the channel and are willing to sit through a 45-minute video of me just answering people's questions. See, this one got 1,000 views. This one got 1,300, but they're great for audience engagement. The cool thing about these videos is I can even answer people's sales questions. So inevitably there'll be some people who ask questions about, is this program right for me? Or, oh, can you show me some of the results that you got in this program? And it's kind of like just going over objections on a sales call, but publicly on your channel. So they're often really good for sales as well. So for this video, I'm actually going to go for a one take off the cuff, but I'm going to plan it out a little bit more. So I'm going to try and do a sort of hybrid, do mostly one take, not too much editing in here, but there will be a little bit of editing, but I'm going to plan it out so it's not just my thoughts on a subject, so you guys can actually see how I would plan out videos to maximize retention and engagement as well. Cool, so now I'm way more focused about what I want my video to do. I want it to get views, mainly go to a new audience, but probably a bit of an existing audience as well. We want it to be based on previous high-performing videos. It's going to be more or less a sort of one take off-the-cuff video. Now we get into actually planning out the title and thumbnail. And so I've just got some advantages here. And if you include these things in your title and thumbnail, your video has the best chance of performing well. And so the first thing is polarizing and taking a stand. If you say, hey, around here, I do things like this, and this is my belief, and I'm willing to stand and die on this hill, then it often creates a reaction from your audience where some people absolutely love it and other people have an opinion about it. And if you can find those things naturally that you really believe in and talk about those things, but also position your video around those things, those videos will often do better. Often I do this with teleprompters. Like I don't have some sort of hatred against teleprompters, but a lot of my channel is about speaking off the cuff and speaking without a script. So often I talk about the advantage of doing that and talking about the disadvantages of using a teleprompter. And it will often get people banding together and get other people saying, no, I don't like that. And I know that's naturally a good thing to do if you want to boost engagement. The next thing is just making sure your video has a big and bold promise that you can actually pay off. Big mistake is that people just have an idea that's not really big and not really that bold, and then they're surprised why it didn't get the traction that it could have. And that's often because you're just not making your idea big and bold enough, right? If I just say like how to talk to a camera better, that's not a big and bold idea. If I say this will change the way that you speak on YouTube forever, that's a big and bold idea. Next box I have is real, tangible, using this right now. So a good example of this is why I think this video did really well, which is the how to make so many videos it forces your business to grow, upload daily, right? This video wasn't a theory where I was theoretically talking about, oh, if you uploaded daily, this would happen. It was me saying, hey, I've been uploading daily. Some crazy things have happened to my channel. Here's what's happening and here's how you can do the same. It's an experiment that I'm running and then I'm talking about. And if you can do this in your videos and just experiment and report back on what's actually working, often those videos will do much better because they're just based on reality experience and people can feel that. The next thing is only I can make it. Right? This is a good filter to put your videos through. Could only I make this? Could somebody just copy this? And again, this kind of links back to your unique experience, but it's also just something to keep in mind when you are making the video. Am I putting my unique flavor into this video in a way that probably only I can? And then the final one is, does this have a banger mechanism? So a mechanism within a video is, right, here's the big bold promise and here's a unique way to get it. So this one, for example, is how to make so many videos it forces your business to grow. And then the mechanism is upload daily, right? Another one that's done really well that you guys are probably familiar with is I'll change the way that you speak on YouTube. And then the mechanism is the coffee shop rule. You know, if you follow this specific rule and this way of doing things, you'll get this result. Same one as this one. This will change the way you speak on YouTube forever. And then the mechanism is the anti-script. So these were two very catchy mechanisms. And so it's an interesting thing to think about is, oh, could I put a banger mechanism into this video? So let's actually come up with some title options right now. So what I'm going to do is just go through my channel. And because I am doing the previous high performing option, this is the workflow that I'm going to show you guys today. So I'm just going to refresh my brain and write out stuff that has been working for me. So I'm going to break these titles down almost into little segments. So this one, the sort of thing that worked well was change the way you speak on YouTube. So that's a title, sort of format that's been working well. Change the way you speak on YouTube. Another one is get views and make sales. Although I have used that recently and it hasn't been working as well. So that might have been just something that worked for that unique video, or it was working a year ago and isn't anymore. Let's scroll down to more recent videos that have done great. Okay, this one, 2 weeks ago. Let's try this. 0 editing, 1 take. Obviously speak like this. It's kind of a thing that I've been using a lot. What's another one that's been working well recently? Cool, we've got this concept of upload daily. Forces business to grow. I like that as well. And something that's been working good as well recently is the words binge watch. This video kind of surprised me because I usually get 3,000 or less views on these sort of 1 take, very casual videos. And this one got double that and only in 7 days. So it'll probably keep going as well, which is why, for example, I did that in just my last video, which was binge as the mechanism and then making your YouTube videos addictive. Right, so we'll see how that one does as well. So because I'm going to make a 1 take video, I'm going to see if I can get a bit meta and make a video about making videos in 1 take. So I wonder if we can combine some of these things. So could I combine uploading daily with 1 take, maybe 0 editing, although I've done that a couple of times recently. I don't know how many things I can combine, but could we combine these things, for example? So let's just come up with some random ideas that might combine those. So we've got make 1 take. I'm just going to write these out without caps. Make 1 take videos so you can upload daily, right? That's a terrible title, but we're starting to combine them. How to make videos in 1 take that your audience binge watch. Bit long. Speak like this to make 1 take videos. I think I literally already made that. I was going to say with 0 editing, but I think that was literally the title of that video that already did well. Speak like this to make YouTube videos with 0 editing. Okay, I didn't say 1 take videos. I said YouTube videos. That's pretty similar. Maybe I could make this about speaking confidence. Speak so confidently your viewers will watch your videos without any editing. I kind of like this idea. Speak so confidently your viewers will watch your videos without any editing. Let's see if we can come up with some more angles on that. Speak so clearly your viewers will watch your videos without any editing. Maybe we could change that to they to make it shorter. Speak so clearly they will watch your videos without any editing. Speak so clearly they will binge watch your videos with no edits. I don't know how clear that is. Is that clear? Speak so clearly they will binge watch your videos with no edits. I think that could be clear if I put one take in the thumbnail. Speak so clearly they will binge watch your one take videos. And then maybe no editing in the thumbnail. So we might be getting somewhere here. So you can see that I'm just like writing out a bunch of titles and then getting clearer and clearer as I reach something that to me would sound good. And it's important to do this first because imagine if I'm just coming up with the topic and I'm planning out all of my points now and I still don't know what my title is going to be. It's going to be really hard to fit in a really good, big, bold title around an idea that I've already fleshed out and I've already filmed, right? So it's important to do the title first and then film your video around that title. And it's an interesting creative exercise because once you've made a title that is a banger, you're like, okay, now the challenge, the creative work comes to actually try and pay this off. And so back to this title, let's just keep developing this and try and figure out like what this video is actually about. So speak so clearly they will binge watch your one take videos. Now I'm not sure how clear that actually is, the actual wording. They will binge watch your one take videos. I don't know if people actually understand that immediately. And so I might try and make that more clear in the title. This could also be coherently, confidently, and those titles would create slightly different videos, right? A video about clarity is different to a video about confidence. So I could just replace this one with confidence here to give myself that option. But I think clearly is probably better and more realistic because you can't just speak confidently and that will make people binge watch your videos. But if you speak clearly, it kind of does. So this one's more inherently true. So at this point, I might just put this into Thumbs Up TV and see how it actually looks when I put it with a thumbnail. Now I've already got a thumbnail somewhere in Pixelmator Pro, which is just the software that I use to make all my thumbnails. You can use Canva as well. It's pretty similar, but this one I find is just slightly more, you can get slightly more premium looking stuff going on. There's one video I made recently, yeah, 0 edits. So I just want to, this is already a thumbnail. So I'm just going to put this, yeah, in this video here, draft thumbnail 1 and see how this starts to come together. Speak slow clearly, they will binge watch your one take videos, 0 edits. Okay, that's actually slightly more clear than I thought. I do wonder if I put one take in brackets, or like apostrophes. I don't know if that makes it clear or not. We'll try that. Let's just do a word count. I try and keep them below 10 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's fine. Speak so clearly, they will binge watch your one take videos. Maybe I don't need they will. Speak so clearly, they binge watch your one take videos. Okay, I like that. I'm going to come up with a couple of different variations here. And because I said I want to do some editing in this video just to show you guys the workflow, I probably won't put no editing in the thumbnail just because I actually will edit this video a bit. And I try and make my videos as meta as possible. So if I'm explaining something, I try and do that thing in the actual video too. So it wouldn't make sense for me to have edited a video that says you can do this without any editing, right? Speak so clearly, they will binge watch your one take videos. Maybe I could just put no script instead. I think that would probably work. So let me just quickly adjust this image. We'll duplicate this. Yeah, this is a terrible design, but I'm just going to see if it actually works in terms of the thumbnail looking good and clear. Cool. Speak so clearly, they binge watch your one take videos, 0 edits. Speak so clearly, they binge watch your one take videos, no script. That still works. Okay, great. No script in the thumbnail, that's worked for me before. Speak so clearly, they binge watch your one take videos. I'm going to see if there's anything else I can say without one take videos, because I'm just still not quite sure that people understand like what one take means like immediately in the title. Also, one take is kind of limiting me here slightly because that means I'll probably have to do this video in one take. And that's not really the message for this video specifically. One take videos can be great if you don't want to do 0 editing and they have their own power. But the idea here is me being more like, you don't have to have a script if you want people to binge watch your stuff. You just have to speak very clearly. Maybe that's, how would I write that? You don't have to have a script for people to binge watch your content. You just have to speak clearly. That could be like a good intro line. Maybe it's just this. Speak so clearly they binge watch your videos with no script. Speak so clearly you ditch the script and they still... This is getting really long and convoluted, but sometimes these ideas lead to other things. Speak so clearly that you don't need a script and they still binge watch your videos. Maybe just a claim. You don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. Ooh, maybe that's a better title. You don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. You don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. Maybe just like speak like this in the thumbnail. Let's see how this one looks. I'm gonna move myself down. See how this one looks. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay. I reckon that's a winner. That to me is instantly looking good. I like that. I think that's going to be the idea for today's videos. For today's video. So I'm going to keep all of this ideation that I did here. Just why not? Just going to hide it in a little toggle heading inside a toggle heading. Going to hide this. And I'm going to put my title right here. And thumbnail, speak like this. And then I'll just copy this in. Now this is a really important step because I like to have my title and thumbnail with me at all times when I'm planning a video. And this is to do what I call the title check. Now the title check I originally came up with because it's something that actually helps me when I speak. So it's something that helps me stop rambling. So if I always have the title in the forefront of my mind, then as long as I am paying off the promise in the title, I'm not really rambling. And so it's a great speaking tool, but it's also the same thing with the plan. If you have the title and thumbnail, the big bold promise in front of you the whole time when you're planning your video is going to be completely about that title. And it's not going to feel like for your viewers, they are going off topic. And something that I realized a while ago was, I mean, it sounds simple, but let's say that somebody's watching your video. Most of the time, they have the title below the video right here. And so what that means is that they're watching your video and they're on like point number 3 or whatever. And the whole time they have the title there. The whole time they're looking at that and looking at the title saying, speaking like this makes your YouTube videos addictive. And if what you're talking about becomes different to that title, even by a couple of degrees, and you're actually talking about something slightly different, then people are going to click off because you are not paying off the title. And so if you keep on making your points about the title, you refer back to the title, you refer back to this big promise, that it ensures that it keeps your viewers watching because they've clicked for the title. The title is obviously good enough for them to be watching. And so all you need to do is keep paying off that title throughout the video with every single point. Cool. So with this video, we are making quite a big claim, which is you don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. So what we're going to need to do is, I'm just going to put some notes here for me to come up with a general concept of the video before actually fleshing out into the plan. So just a couple of notes. We need to back up this claim with proof. It's definitely what I need to do. Also, when they have the advantages here, this is polarizing and taking a stand. It's literally a claim. You don't need to do this commonly thought thing for this other thing to happen. So that's great. It's pretty big and bold. It's real tangible and I'm using it right now. Yep, I'm literally doing this. Only I can make it banger mechanism. We'll see if we can sort of put this into the vibe of the video and the mechanism. I've got an idea for that now, which I'm just going to write down. I think the overall concept of this video is something that I've been thinking recently, which is in your videos, you want to change how they think and change how they feel. And so the idea for this video might be, if you can change how they think and change how they feel, then they'll binge watch your videos. And so you don't need a script to do that. That's kind of the overall claim. And I'll need to make that obviously very clear, explain what I mean by that, how that works, etc., etc. But I think that is going to be the overall core concept of this video. So I'm feeling all right about it. I'm feeling okay about this at this point. Let's get into the planning phase. Now, just as a recap right now, this has taken me about 45 minutes at this point to do this ideation. And That's not bad, right? 45 minutes to come up with what I hope is a good title and thumbnail and to come up with the overall video concept. Let's see if we can plan out this video in the next half an hour or so, and then we'll be up and running, ready to shoot. So the first thing I'm going to do is craft out an intro. Now the intro, I often write it either word for word or just bullet point it. So this is kind of scripting the first 20 seconds of the video or so. In this case, because I might do this video in one take or very few takes, I might not do the intro word for word, and I might write a couple of sentences that I sort of vaguely say, or even some bullet points. So the first thing I'll say here is something along the lines of just backing up the title. I remember I put this point in here, so I'm just going to put that down. Confirm. You don't have to have a script for people to binge watch your content. You just have to speak clearly. Now, it might not even you just have to speak clearly. It might just be you just have to, maybe I'll put that right, put those 2 points right in the first line. I'm not sure. I wouldn't usually do this, but let's see. Change what I think or change how they feel. Or maybe both. Change how they think and change how they feel with every video that you make. I quite like that even as an opening line. We'll see. I might change that, but for now, that's looking good. That's confirm, that's context. So confirm is you basically just confirm the title, right? You just say, the title is this. You don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. I'm making sure I'm saying that or something similar in the first line. Then the context, let's just separate these to make this clearer, actually. Context is basically telling them something that they don't know. So context is like, hey, here's this thing that you don't know. You just have to change how they think and change how they feel with every video that you make. That's the context. Wait, what? Tell me more about that. That sounds too simple. Too good to be true. Next thing, credibility, I think, at this point. And so people are like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Are you just gaslighting me? What's going on? And so I'm like, well, okay, here's the proof. So I'm just going to give them a couple of lines of quick proof. And I read this out a couple of times as I go. You don't have to have a script for people to binge watch your content. You just have to change how they think and change how they feel with every video that you make. Then I just say, I've made 30 videos in the last 30 days. And this is what gotten dozens of viewers to even comment on my videos telling me that they're binge watching. That's some sort of proof. I'm going to write out a couple of different credibility lines because I'm not quite sure on that one. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, all with this basic aim, and my views have quadrupled. Not only have my views quadrupled, but my leads and sales gone up dramatically as well. Okay, cool. There's a couple of different credibility options. I'm liking this one. Then curiosity. And curiosity is often where you say, so in this video, and then you tell them something, the interesting stuff that you're going to tell them. That's a basic way of doing curiosity. There's quite a lot of curiosity in here already, but let's just stack it. Talk about how you can make videos that your viewers are addicted to while speaking naturally and authentically without a script. And I just know that speaking naturally and authentically without a script is like a core desire of my audience. It's basically what I've built my channel around. So by saying that, I know I'm going to appeal to my viewers and new viewers who are similar to my viewers as well. So I'm just going to read this out once just to see if it sort of lands. Cool. Imagine, I'm putting myself in my viewers' shoes here, right? This is really important. It's like picture myself just going through YouTube and I'm scrolling and then suddenly I see this thumbnail. You don't need a script for them to binge watch your videos. Speak like this. Oh, right. I thought I did need a script. Oh, I want people to binge watch my videos. Yeah, what am I missing? Okay, click. You don't have to have a script for people to binge watch your content. You just have to change how they think and change how they feel with every video that you make. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, all with this basic aim, and not only have my views quadrupled, but my leads and sales have gone dramatically up as well. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can make videos that your viewers are addicted to while speaking naturally, authentically, without a script, so that you can, and I'll put one, so that you can, and then I'll put in the desire-based thing, so that you can make videos faster, more easily, and more enjoyably, whilst growing your business fast. Epic. So that's my intro. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I might not memorize that word for word, but I've got it written out here. so that I can, when I read it in this video or when I say it in this video, I either got that in my mind and I'll say something very similar, or I'll just memorize it, say that, and then move on with the rest of the video. So another points in the content. Now, with this section, when I'm actually coming up with the video plan, it depends on the kind of video I'm making. So obviously, if we go up here and I look at the type of video I'll make, if I'm making a case study, I won't use these frameworks, I'll use different ones. If I'm making a system video, I'll probably use these frameworks quite a lot. If I make a one take off the cuff, I'll like very loosely use them. And these frameworks are the binge framework, click framework, and the pull point paint framework. I've got individual videos for each of these. If you want a deep dive on those, I'll put them in the description below. There might be some cards popping up at some point around me now as well, so you can check these out. But let's get into this, and I'll just sort of loosely use these whilst I am mapping out the main content of this video. So I've kind of backed up with proof already, and I'll get into change how they think and how they feel. But first, what would I need to address? Sort of what's my audience resisting right now? What are they like, I'm not quite buying this yet. I think it's basically just like explaining and selling these ideas of changing how they think and changing how they feel, and why, if you have these two principal aims, will this work? Okay, we get a dopamine hit when our thinking is changed, or we get an epiphany. So I'm going to say, so you know that feeling when somebody says something and you're like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about it in that way. Like that's a natural kind of spike of dopamine where you're like, oh yeah, oh great, cool. And so if you can do that in every video, then you're basically training people to get those dopamine hits in your video in a very positive, through your videos in a very positive way, where they're like, oh wow, this is great. This is changing how I'm thinking. And then changing how they feel. I actually got a comment from a viewer, and she was telling me that she sometimes chooses videos based on how she wants to feel. And I think that she was voicing something very powerful that a lot of people actually miss, and a lot of people choose videos by. Ultimately, we're very emotionally based creatures, and if we want to feel a certain way, we'll often click on a video. So it's sort of like, how do I want to feel right now? I'm on YouTube. How do I want to feel? I want to feel inspired. I'm going to click this video. I want to feel motivated, grind, hustle. I want to click this video. I want to feel loving and warm. I'm going to click this video. And so depending on your vibe as a creator and what you aim to do as a creator, you can get people to choose your videos based on how they want to feel as well. These are the two sections now. So then that begs the question, how do we change thinking? And then how do we change feeling? Well, the way that we change thinking is through stuff like you present a way that they think and then tell them to think, or then show them a different way of thinking. How do we change feeling? Music is a great way to do that. The music in your videos. It's your tone of voice. It's the emotional place that you come from when you speak. So what emotion are you speaking from? E.g., fiery, open-hearted, calm, logical. It's not really emotion, but it's kind of the mood. And how do we change thinking? So a few ideas here for how do we change thinking. Old way versus new way. We could also say analogies. We could say stories are a great way to change people's thinking. Maybe I could just focus on one of these in this video. Stories, I think, would be a good vibe for this video. So I could demonstrate how a story changes one's thinking. And I could probably do that by telling a story. I wonder if I've got a story for that. Demonstrate how a story changes one's thinking. I could potentially tell the story of my 30-day YouTube challenge. And that could show the old way of thinking is YouTube videos are hard and time consuming. And the new way of thinking, YouTube videos can be made in 3 hours with unlimited ideas. It's a good story to demonstrate that way of thinking. And maybe here's like setting as well. You're set outdoors. And so we want, so this is like the conclusion. And so we want to give our audience a state change every time they watch our content. Okay, I'm liking how this is coming into form. Okay, so that's actually a good plan for this video. And this is structured in a way that's almost like a little cheat sheet. It's like a one-page thing that I can sort of look over and reference. And if I wanted to memorize this for my speaking, which I will do in a second, just in case it does come out in one take, then I can have in the bank, okay, explain, change how they think, then explain, change how they feel, and then explain how do we change thinking, then how do we change feeling. And then the subpoints within those is dopamine, a comment from a viewer, tell a story, and then change feeling I've sort of got as like music, tone of voice, set, and your emotion as well. Great, so I'm already sort of committing that to memory. And actually, because this is a one-take video, I'm not going to apply these frameworks so rigorously here. Because I've done this so much, the frameworks are kind of naturally built in within Pull Point Paint. I've got some stories and analogies here. I'm pulling in the viewer with the intro. I'm making it concrete with a comment from the viewer. There's a lot of stuff going on here that I'm already sort of putting into this plan. And so I don't think I need to run it through the frameworks. All right, so in this point of the process, I'm going to basically commit this plan to memory so I'm ready to deliver it to camera. And what it looks like is basically just reading it out a few times, getting it in your head, and then trying to read it without looking at it. And I separate this into two different processes. For the intro that I want to memorize much more thoroughly, I'm going to try and memorize each sentence. And then for the actual points, I'm just going to memorize each individual point and subpoint, and then riff around those things. So let's go with the intro first. So the first thing is you don't have to script for people to binge watch your content. Cool. And I'll separate these into two things. You don't have to script for people to binge watch your content. Sweet. Next thing, you just have to change how they think and how they feel with every video that you make. You just have to change how they think and how they feel with every video that you make. You change how they think and feel with every video that you make. So I'm separating the sentences into bite-sized chunks, and then I'll go back and do the first bit again. You don't have to have a script for people to binge watch your content. You just have to change how they think and how they feel with every video that you make. Cool. And I'll just bite-sized chunk the intro. So let's just do that for the next two sections. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, all with this basic aim. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, all with this basic aim, which links back to the point I just made. And because of that, not only have my views quadrupled and my leads quadrupled, but my leads and sales have gone dramatically up as well. So over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, all with this basic aim. And as a result of that, my views have quadrupled and my sales and leads have dramatically increased as well. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can make videos that change people. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can make videos that people are addicted to while speaking naturally, authentically, and without a script. How you can make videos that your viewers are addicted to while speaking naturally and authentically without a script. So you can make videos faster and more enjoyably, all whilst growing your business. Cool. Okay, so that's the intro more or less memorized. Now let's see if we can memorize the content. So first you have to change how people think. And think about this. When people are scrolling on YouTube, they're searching for something. You don't quite know what, but something. So the things that I have to remember here is basically the first point that's like why change how they think. The second point is why change how they feel. And then we're talking about searching for something and a dopamine hit. And then why change how they feel is the comment from a viewer. Then the how do we change thinking is stories. That's the main thing I have to remember. And then I'll tell the story. And then how do we change feeling? And then the main thing I'm going to talk about is the emotional place that you come from when you speak. And then I'm going to talk about like supplementary is music, setting, brand, editing, etc. And in conclusion, we want to give our audience a state change every time they watch our content. And then for this video, I also want a call to action. I'm not going to forget to input, which will be, I'm just going to link to another one take video. So how do you speak in one take? Watch this video next. And then for a lead magnet, yeah, I'll just do the anti-script planning template. That'll be easier. So now I've got my basic plan. I've got my intro memorized. Let's deliver this baby to camera. All right, here we go. This is a very dark room. That's better. All right, so I've got my camera set up. I've got this side angle as well, just so you can see me speak from another angle. And who knows, I might get this in one take. I might completely fudge this up. It will usually take me a few runs to get the intro. And then once I've got a good intro in, I might just keep talking and see where I end up. Oftentimes I will just do one take before the actual take. Sometimes that warm-up take will come out as the take I keep, and other times I'll just do it again once I've got the ideas more fresh in my mind. So let's give this a bash. You don't have to, there you go. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. All you have to do is change how they think and change how they feel with every single video that you make. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos and they have quadrupled my sales, made my leads and sales go up significantly, and this is all down to my viewers binge watching my content. And I haven't used a script for a single one of those videos. Now in this video, I want to show you how you can do the same and speak naturally and authentically in your videos and still have your viewers watch every single video that you put out. The first thing you need to do, as I said, is change how your viewers think. And the reason you have to do this is just think about why your viewers are watching YouTube in the first place. They're scrolling and browsing, usually without a specific aim, in search of something. Now, if you can be the person to consistently give them a new way of thinking, that new way of thinking becomes this little dopamine hit that they get, and it makes them feel a certain way. So if you can be the person to say, hey, I know that you thought like this, but here's actually a different way of seeing this, often in a way that is more inspiring, more motivating, more simple, more easy, and you're somebody who can give them that mindset reframe through a literal mindset reframe or through something very logical, then you can be the person who they always go to, because they know that no matter what you say in this video, you're going to provide them with a new way of thinking, which is actually an escape. It could be an escape from the way that they are thinking right now. Often you will see and you'll experience that your viewers are on YouTube, sometimes just feeling good, browsing content, and other times in a bit of a state of need. They're searching for something because right now they're not actually feeling 100% good. And so if you can be that person to change the way they think, you'll be the person that they will always click on. And the second thing is changing how they feel. Now, obviously these two are very linked, but more specifically, I got a comment from one of my viewers recently who said that she browses YouTube and often consciously selects videos based on how she wants to feel. And if you see YouTube in this way, once a viewer has clicked on one of your videos and gotten your vibe, are they going to click again on another one of your videos that pops up on their home feed? Well, depending on how they want to feel, that could be a huge factor in which video they choose to select and if they choose to click on yours. So your viewer might think, right now I'm feeling a bit down, I want to go on YouTube for 20 minutes and I want it to pick me up and spur me forward into the action that I want to take afterwards. If they want to feel like that, they are consciously going to try and choose videos that make them feel motivated, inspired, wanting to take action. Or they might feel, well, I'm feeling a bit stressed right now. I want to go on YouTube and I want to calm myself down. Maybe I'm feeling stressed, in this case, about YouTube and it just feels so complicated, so I want to calm myself down about the topic of YouTube. And so maybe they might come on one of your videos or one of my videos where I make them feel more calm about YouTube and about the whole YouTube process. And so if you can be the person in your videos who consciously is dictating and consciously is positively manipulating how a viewer feels, then they will be the person to click on your video. So how do we achieve both of these things? Well, in terms of how you actually change how somebody thinks, you can do this through showing somebody an old way of doing things versus a new way of doing things. You can do this by analogies, but most powerfully, you can do this by stories. And this is what I've been doing in quite a lot of the more casual one-take videos that I've been making on this channel without any script and even without any editing, is I'll include stories in those videos because a story is an incredible way to get somebody seeing something from a new perspective. So for example, a story I can tell now is a few months ago, I was really stuck with YouTube. And I was in a state where every single video was taking a couple of weeks of my time. I would get really in my head about, is this video going to work? And I would sit on it for days, 5 days, 6 days, just thinking, oh, should I change the title a little bit? Should I change the thumbnail? And then I'd be making the video, still unsure about that, filming it, putting it out there. And if those videos didn't do well, I would have this huge crash because I'd be like, this was 2 weeks of my work. I mean, it wasn't this actual result, but it felt like it was flushed down the toilet, like 2 weeks of work. And I was stuck. And since I started this 30-day challenge, where I've been making a video every single day on this channel, I found something really interesting. Through volume and forced action, my creativity has had tight limits put on it, which has made me way more productive, happier, and within the cycle of that YouTube video, I just don't have room for guessing myself anymore. And so I will just have 3 or 4 hours in a day, to make a video. And because I only have those 3 or 4 hours, all of that overthinking has just gone away. And because of a daily video in daily action, I can now make videos in a way that is just as effective as before, which I can't believe it. My viewers are the same per video as they used to be when it took 2 weeks to make a video. And my creativity is constantly fueled, not by a massive amount of open space that I have to make a video, but by tight limitations on how much time I even have to make it. So that story right there might have changed the way that you think about YouTube. You might have heard me tell that story before. If it's the first time, you might be thinking, oh, there's a slightly different way of thinking that I've just been introduced to through that story. And if you tell stories like that, whether they're your stories of your clients or your own transformation, it can change the way that your viewers think. So how do you actually change the way that your viewer feels? Well, a story obviously can change the way that they feel, and these two things are interlinked. But more specifically, if you want to change the way that your viewer feels, it's mainly about your emotional state when you record the video. And so by consciously choosing the emotion that you want to transmit to your viewer before making your video can have a massive impact on how your viewer feels when they watch your video, potentially on the other side of the world. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. And so before my videos, I'll often get myself into a state of open-hearted connectedness, where I feel like I can transmit positive energy to my viewers. You might not be somebody who totally vibes with that, and if a more logical approach works for you, that's great. You can still focus on changing the way people think, focus less on the feelings that might be a bit abstract for you, and that's cool. If you're somebody who really does vibe with this emotional side of things, this could be the path that you lean into. And you can put a lot of your attention into your energetic state, into your emotional state before you record. And that could be the thing that makes you stand out. Because if you're somebody who can raise the consciousness, and this is actually possible, raise the level of consciousness of your viewers through how you speak and through the mindset that you're in before and during you record, you will be the person to dramatically change how viewers feel. So just by, for example, getting into state, working out, shaking out your body, meditating, going as far as you want to go, doing some breath work before you make a video, you're going to be the person who is feeling good, on point, thinking clearly, and having a good motivational, inspirational state that somebody else who is sort of in a place where they don't feel motivated, maybe in a completely different time of day, in a different side of the world, watches, then pulls them out of that state and gets them ready to go. And if you can consistently be that for your viewers, they will come back and binge watch your videos. Other ways to change the way that people feel is more subtly through things like your own tone of voice. So your body language and tone of voice, and being a tone of voice that you want your viewers to relate to, or being a tone of voice that you want your viewers to feel inspired by, or to give them clarity and to lead them with conviction. You know, there are a lot of lost people out there. Sometimes they need a firm tone of voice to lovingly tell them, do this and do this and do this, and you'll get out of where you are right now. Other things can be as simple as your set design. You know, I got a guitar in the back there, I got some plants, some cool posts. There's stuff that I vibe with that is probably slightly influencing how you feel right now. So by combining consciously changing how people think, consciously changing how people feel as an undertone or an overt overtone within your videos, this will massively help people always come back to your channel and reliably earn you the click because they want to be changed how they think. They want you to change how they feel. If you would like an anti-script template that will show you how to plan out videos like this with this included, that is in the link in the description below. That's a planning template that you can fill out to give you great video ideas and also give you sort of guardrails to make sure that your ideas are actually going to help your audience get from where they are now to where they want to be, as well as give you a bunch of prompts and ideas as well. And if you want to watch another video about how to actually make videos in one take, just like I've done in this video here with no cuts at all, then this video is the one to watch next because it will show you the 3 obstacles that you're going to come up against when making a one take video and the 3 solutions to get you going. All right. Wow, I actually did that one in one take straight off the bat. I was not expecting that. There you go. So I just made a one take video. By the way, also, if you want to know how I'm making this one take video and how I just did that, then I'll put a link in the description below that actually explains how I make these one take videos, including how I keep going when I'm second guessing myself, keeping my train of thought, that kind of thing as well. All right, now we've got that baby recorded. Let's get on to the editing. Okay. Okay, so the recording took me literally 10 to 12 minutes is how long the video took. Now we've got the files up on the editing program. I'm just going to show you like a 2 or 3 step editing process that I go through to edit my videos nice and quickly and make them slightly more engaging and easier to follow for the audience. So here I've got open DaVinci Resolve. If you're new to editing, you know, don't worry. I'm just going to be, this isn't like an editing tutorial. I just want to show you the basic process that I go through. So here we go. Here's the shot. Let's just play this through. I think I was talking to this camera up here, as you guys just saw. And we're just going to find the point where the intro is. I usually turn it up by a couple of decibels and just figure out where the intro starts. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. All you have to do is change how they think and change how they feel with every single video that you make. Over the last 30 days, I've made... Okay, sweet. I think that is where the intro starts. So first step, we just cut out that bit and make the intro start right away. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. And I'm just going to go to the end as well, just make sure I'm ending on the right place. One take videos. Okay, so I'm talking including afterwards. So let's just find the actual end of the video. The 3 obstacles you're going to come up against when making a one take video and the 3 solutions to get you going. Cool. So just leave a little bit for the end screen and then that is good to go. So the video is 10 minutes, 40 seconds. Now what I'd usually do here is just go through a basic cut. So just cut out mistakes. Now everyone knows how to do that. It's pretty easy. There is actually one mistake that I said here, and I am going to make one cut in this one take video, unfortunately, because I messed up right in the intro and I said sales twice. So I said it quadrupled my sales and it boosted my leads and sales significantly, which doesn't really make too much sense. And right at the beginning of the video, that's quite a big mistake to make. Luckily, I worked out I could just cut out one of the sentences and it flows pretty easily. So just check this out. With every single video that you make. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos and they have quadrupled my sales, made my leads and sales go up significantly. So quadrupled my sales and made my leads and sales go up significantly. Come on, mate. So we just cut that bit out. Turns out, it actually flows. And they have quadrupled my sales. And this is all down to my viewers binge. Just refine that cut a little bit. Quadrupled my sales, and this is all down to my viewers binge watching my content. And I haven't used a script. Awesome. So that all works well. Now, after the cut, what we do is put titles on the video, and that's about it. I might put a bit of music at the beginning, just to lean into that feeling thing that I'm talking about in the video, but we'll see. The first thing that we do is I'm gonna go back to that plan. So you remember this plan was the original plan here, right? Why change how they think? Why change how they feel? How do we change thinking? How do we change feeling? What I often end up doing is just putting these titles, putting this text as the titles during the points where I'm saying these sections. So basically I'm going to split up this video into 4 sections with just 4 key titles, and I might add a couple more titles throughout, but this is going to be the main thing. So first, let's put my title template here. So let's just find the points in the video where I say those things. So the first one is why change how they think. So that was just after the intro. So let's find that. Just think about why your viewers are. The first thing you need to do, as I said, is change how your viewers think. There you go. So the first thing you need to do, as I said, is change how your viewers think. So I'm just going to put that as a title here. And let's put in a gradient as well, just to go under that text. Do, as I said, is change how your viewers, might make this slightly bigger, think, and up a little bit more. And the reason you have to do this is just think. Great, so that's my first title. Now I've got that whole sort of much more copyable. I'm gonna go through and find where I'm talking about change how they feel.
Often you'll see and you'll experience that your viewers are the person that they will always click on. And the second thing is changing how they feel.
Change how your viewers feel. Pretty easy.
And the second thing is changing how they feel. Now, obviously these two are very linked, but more specifically, I got a comment from one of my viewers recently.
Great, so now I'm gonna go to the sections where I say, okay, how do you actually do this?
Where I make them feel more calm about YouTube and about the whole YouTube process. And so, if you can be the person, so how do we achieve both of these things? Well, in terms of how you actually change how somebody thinks, you can.
Let's just put this, how to change how someone thinks. So just bit super simple. And again, we're just gonna put that in green because it's kind of nice. I might put the thinks in blue actually. Thinking for me is a blue thing. So let's just, no, that blue is better. Let's put this blue as the thinking. And then I'm going to change the feeling to the green, just to differentiate them, because I'm going to repeat them twice, right? So think and feel is green, thinks is blue, and then I'm going to repeat this one. Let's make it slightly smaller.
Through that story. And if you, so how do you actually change the way that your viewer feels? Well, a story obviously can change the way that they feel. These two things are interlinked. But more specifically,
okay, so now I'm talking about feels.
So how do you actually change the way that your viewer feels?
So I'm just going to replace that with feel. Cool. Great. So my basic titles are in. That's sort of marking all the different sections. Then I'll just make sure, before I forget, to add a title for my lead magnet at the end.
Vibe story with how they think. They want you to change how they feel. If you would like an anti-script template that will show you how to plan out.
So let's just put this in here. Videos like this, with this included, that is in the link in the description below. That's a planning template that you can fill out to give you great video ideas and also give you sort of guardrails to make sure that your ideas are actually going to help your audience get from where they are now to where they want to be, as well as give you a bunch of prompts and ideas as well. And if you want to watch another video. Great, so that's in too. And now what I like to do in the intros is add a bit of text that sort of matches what I'm saying, just to make the hook a bit more hooky, basically. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. There you go, so that first line is great. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. We'll put binge watch in a Netflix red. You don't have to script for your viewers to binge watch your content. All you have to do is change how they think. And then we've got the change how they think and feel in our green and blue that we've already sorted out already. So let's just copy these in, adjust them slightly. All you have to do is change how they think, change how they feel. And I'll probably put these on screen at the same time in that same font. How they think and change how they feel with every single video that you make. Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos and they have quadrupled my sales. And this is all down to my viewers binge watching my content. And I haven't used a script for a single one of those videos. Cool. I'm just going to punch into this to mask the cut a little bit more. I do this It doesn't like hide the cuts, it just makes them a bit more seamless.
Quadrupled my sales, and this is all down to my viewers binge watching my content. And I haven't used a script for a single one of those videos. Now in this video, I want to show you how you can
Might just put some proof on screen.
Videos, and they have quadrupled my sales, and this is all.
So the quadrupling of my sales that I'm talking about is the quadrupling of my 30-day talking to camera sales. So let's just put the custom range here from this month, where I've sold significantly more of this program, to April, where I was averaging before. So I was selling around 6,000 a month. This month I've already sold 23,000. Next couple of days I will sell probably 1,000 to 2,000 a day more. So that kind of adds up. Yep. So does this graph look all right? That looks all right. I don't know how I'm going to demonstrate this. Maybe I'll just do it without the numbers here. So that makes it easy to see. Just drag it into the right folder. Let's drag it in here. Why is that not working, bro? Why ain't that working, man? Okay, cool. And I might just put like proof of videos made as well. It's just good to include proof where you can. So I'll probably just go on, yeah, exactly. Look at all these videos here that I've made. Maybe I'll put last 90 days. And then you can see that I wasn't making that many videos. And then all of a sudden I was making a shit ton of videos. So let's put that in as well.
Over the last 30 days, I've made 30 videos, and they have quadrupled my sales. And this is all down to my viewers binge watching 30.
Great, I might just put a solid color behind that.
I've made 30 videos, and they have quadrupled my sales.
Solid black behind that one, maybe a solid white behind this one.
And they have quadrupled my sales, and this is all down to my viewers binge watching my content. And I haven't used a script for a single one of those videos. Now in this video, I want to show you how you can do the same and speak naturally and authentically in your videos and still have your.
And at this point, I might just put in a bunch of my like screen, just videos on screen, because I'm talking about all of these videos, right? Whoa, that's a very old video. Cool, so I just got 4 of my videos that I made this month on screen. So it's just great to show, basically, rather than just like tell that I haven't used a script for any of my videos, just show me talking off the cuff. It's just like an easy way to make things more engaging and back up what I'm saying.
I was binge watching my content, and I haven't used a script for a single one of those videos. Now in this video, I want to show you how you can do the same.
I'll just put 2 on screen, that was easier. Cool, there's a big promise here, so like naturally and authentically, so I'm just going to put that on screen as well with text.
How you can do the same and speak naturally and authentically in your videos and still have your viewers speak naturally and authentically in your videos and still have your viewers watch every single video that you put out.
And still have viewers watch every video that you put out.
Naturally and authentically in your videos and still have your viewers watch every single video that you put out.
Great, so that's the intro titles done. So you can see I put quite a few titles in the intro. Then I've got these basic place mark titles here, and I've got a title at the end. Now, before I upload this video, I might just flesh it out with a few more titles, but that's basically the process that I do. That's basically the editing process. That took me probably half an hour max to edit that video. And I'll probably spend another 15 minutes on it, just going through and adding little titles here and there to make it pop a little bit more and keep it engaging. But with this kind of video that's one take, I really don't have to add too much. I just want to make sure that the key points are clear in the viewer's mind whenever I say something that is sort of a summary or conclusion. Or of course, a little mic drop moment. All right, so I've just added a couple more titles, literally like 3 or 4 more titles, and that's about it. Now I'm going to export the video, ready to upload to YouTube. And while that is rendering, I'll just finish out this video here because all I'm going to do is upload the video, put a couple links in the description, add that thumbnail that I already made in the beginning, and that is my daily YouTube workflow complete. That took I think around 3 hours to do that whole thing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it served you somewhat in your own YouTube workflow. And if anything, just to show you that, yeah, this can be done in a couple of hours, and it doesn't need to be this epic 2-week marathon per YouTube video. If you want to watch the video that I made in this video, then that is here. And also, if you're interested in making videos in one take like I did in that video, and also confusingly, like I said in the call to action end screen of that video, this video here will show you how you can make videos in one take and overcome those obstacles I already mentioned. Cheers guys, see you soon.